New for 96. With your hosts, Kevin McCauley and Chris Nguyen.
Elliot Stabler.
Mariska Hargitay. Is that how you say that?
I don't know. In my head, it is.
Mariska Hargitay.
I think so.
Mariska Hargitay.
Yeah. Oh, she just appeared. You
Oh
said
my
it three
God,
times.
I know. It's like that Austin Powers. Oh, I can't believe I just referenced Austin Powers.
Yeah, baby.
No. Although I thought that was a really good...
The Frasier thing?
No, not that. The Mariska Hargitay. Like, I just like that for whatever reason they used her as like a Buddhist chant. Do you remember that?
No. Maybe the last time I saw Austin Powers, I didn't know who Mariska Hargitay was.
Maybe. But then
Do
she
you remember
appeared.
the Frasier when Martin had just seen Austin Powers?
I did.
He's quoting it.
That is probably the one thing that, like, maybe one of many things, but that dates that particular season, because he keeps saying it throughout the episode, and I haven't heard that in
I think
years.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like it was outdated even then.
Maybe.
I think it was kind of outdated at the time, and that was the joke.
No, I think he was supposed to be mimicking the youths of the time.
I don't know. I think it was like a really delayed reaction.
Maybe.
Like he was at least 2 or 3 years behind, and that's why it was funny.
I don't know about that. Oh my goodness. My Nest cam in my backyard is going off because it is
It's windy.
is very windy because it's going to drop down to -30 in Houston tonight, which is to say, I don't know how to tell the temperature. It's going to be 40, but that's fine. You're remarking that I was wearing a hoodie, which you've never seen, which is true. This is the first hoodie that I have worn in probably 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got it. I liked the color.
Yeah, it's saddle tan.
Saddle tan. Good tan. Excellent tan.
Good tan.
Yeah. Anyways, where are we going to pick up? Are we going to pick up from before, or are we going to keep going?
What are the viewers listening to?
I don't know. What do you mean?
What did they select in their podcast player? What is this show called? And are we welcoming them?
Oh my God.
It's episode 40. Get fired up. All right. So, okay.
Okay.
Welcome to
New for 96 episode 40 special.
40. It's off the rails already.
It's also a Halloween spooktacular
Yeah.
because it's Halloween, even though this is going to air well after Halloween.
Well, oh my, yes. Last year we recorded literally on Halloween.
Did we?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, but we didn't have a spooktacular then. This is
I'm almost certain that's what the episode is called.
I'm
It's probably like episode 12.
every year I'm going to say, I bet you last year we didn't do a spooktacular episode. Well, fine. It is Halloween tomorrow. It's the 30th of October tonight.
Yeah. Well, I guess this is no longer evergreen.
Yeah. It's a nice spooky night. Like, look at the silhouette of the oak tree outside, just bending in the wind.
Yeah.
Menacingly. Do you think there's a podcast about trees? Like, new for arborists?
New for bark.
New for bark. New bark for 96.
It's probably better than this one.
It's probably, completely.
Yeah.
And it's all done in the Shorty Balls, tone.
Oh, yeah.
And it's still better than this one.
For sure.
No doubt.
I'm going to look that up.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave them a 5-star review.
Oh my God. Yeah.
What's our topics?
Well, way to interrupt the flow.
God damn it.
So today was like a particularly active day. One, I regret. So I had to move storage spaces where I keep the cars, and
Well, let's break this down really quick. Chris owns 3 cars and has 0 garages, and he has 1 parking space at his home that is not on the street, and he cycles between 3 vehicles. And so for the past year, he's been past year and a half,
Yeah.
storing 1 and or 2 cars at a storage garage, and you had 2 side-by-side garage units.
Yeah. Correct.
And which I couldn't help but notice, you accumulated a large amount of stuff in these by
Mostly-
means of shelves,
Yeah.
furniture, car care products, tools,
Car
extra
parts.
parts. Car parts.
So a garage basically is what I
Yeah.
had.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the picture of you just bringing little things here and there, like an ant, like a piece of cheese here, and then a year later, it's like, look at what you've done. This worker
It
ant
is ridiculous.
has built a temple. in
I
the
was so
storage unit.
mad today at how much stupid shit that I had in there. But it's fine now. Not really. So they're basically, it's getting extremely expensive there because it's almost doubled in price, and it's not worth it for me anymore. So I'm going to be moving. Actually, I already have moved to something a little bit further away. I've been contemplating doing this move, but as you know, like, distance is a factor for me. If it's more than, say, 2 miles away, this one's 1 mile away. My current one.
Your current one
that
is?
I'm about to leave.
Okay, and what's the new one?
1.5.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's
and I remember
within
you were
the
trying
radius.
to find for a long time like a
Massive one.
big one where you could put 2 cars in, like 2
Yeah.
deep.
2 deep or more, because there was that one that was 20 by 50, and like that was a lot further away. That was like 5 or 6 miles away. That would have been really cool.
That would have been cool.
Yeah, but they had an issue with that many cars. So we did, and if you rewind, I don't remember what episode that was, but we had a diagram of the cars that if I had the space, I would
that was the cover art.
yeah, I would have loved to have placed, I would have started seeking them out. But as it turns out, keeping multiple cars in the inner city with nowhere to put them is an issue.
Yeah.
And I like where I live, but it does make having more than one car slightly difficult if you care about them. So, yeah. For reference, I had an E90 330i that I would street park, even though I had like this one like driveway space that I could have parked it on, is it in a driveway or on a driveway?
I don't know. I'm just distracted because it sounded like you said E93 30i.
E90 330i.
Yeah.
It
E93
was
is the worst, like the most.
E93 is the worst. The worst BMW convertible. Well, we can get into that.
Yeah.
But that one E90 was...
What is the worst BMW convertible?
That one. The E93. I mean, the F... blah, blah, blah.
Is it the F33?
13?
Or F83?
Or...
F82? What's the F80 like M4 convertible?
Oh,
Because
God.
that's
Yeah, that'd be the F83. I assume that they're still doing the same, at least last number
I don't know.
designation. I don't know. It does not matter. I think the E93 is worse.
Is it?
Yeah.
It was a...
Because I feel like
an E93... I don't know what it is compared to the M4, but if you got an E93 M3 convertible...
Yep.
That was a, not exaggerating, greater than 4,000 pound M3.
That was, why would you, I don't understand like the point of getting, like you like the sportiness of an M car, but then you'll negate it with like this immense hardtop, and it doesn't look good
No,
either.
it looks terrible when it's up.
Yeah.
I was talking to someone yesterday at a car event I was at, and he was driving the Lexus LC. And I was like, it's going to be such a good convertible.
Oh, that'll be a
It's
beautiful
destined
one.
to be a convertible. And then he's like, yeah, I hope they do a folding hardtop. I was like, oh, dear God, no.
Why?
No.
What is that a reaction now? Like I drove past a 350Z Roadster just like maybe an hour ago, and just remarking on like what a choice that is to have gotten that car, because it's hideous. It was hideous then. I don't think it ever looked good.
No.
And it made like what was like kind of a decent car it much worse. Doesn't look good. Like, what was the point of that? Like, if as far as
I mean, there's people that just want a convertible. It just gives you more.
you think
of a
about that
market.
era. But you think about that era of car. So that would have been what, '02 through '06, whenever
Yeah,
the Roadster
sure.
came out. I don't know, but there's so many better convertibles that you could have gotten for $40,000, which is probably what that cost at the time.
Yeah.
That is the G37 Cabriolet of today.
Yeah.
Today-ish era, I guess, because there's no more Infinity convertible, is there?
I no, you're right. There's not.
No, but at
Although potentially they still make the G37 under a new Q name, and we would never know.
that is true. We
Because they did make it for a while under a Q name.
Yeah,
I mean, the folding hardtop convertibles, like, I think their day is done because now people are trying to reduce weight and everything. It's like the Z4 went back to a soft top.
well, that was the rumor that they were going to go back to ragtop.
I think that's
Cabriolets,
I
for
think that's
BMW at least.
happening. I think that's happening, and I think when you have a coupe, when you offer a coupe, it doesn't make sense to also offer a folding hardtop. I can't justify the folding hardtop, but the folding hardtop, when it's like, we don't have a coupe or a convertible version, we have a folding hardtop version.
But yeah, like I hate that because I get that people like seem to remove the aesthetics from the like mechanical wonderment that is a folding hardtop, because people think folding hardtop means
Yeah, I mean,
it's more
like this-
expensive and
well,
it's
like this
more
it
complicated.
seems so cool. You know,
But-
the idea is cool.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you have like this horrible looking car, like when it's what it looks like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but back to that 350 Z Roadster. In that era, you would have had E46 Cabriolet,
S2000.
S2000, even the A4 Cabriolet at the time I thought looked really good.
Agree to disagree.
You hated that gen, but I didn't think it looked that bad. C70. I think at that time it would have kind of crossed generations a little bit, but it was the first gen
Oh yeah, those
still,
were nice.
which was really nice. Then you went to the hardtop, which oh, Saab 9.3 Cabriolet. Honestly,
you're losing me. You're losing
that was
me.
pretty good, and that had like a complicated tonneau.
I would rather have the Z.
Oh no, the Saab looked pretty good. I thought the 9.3 looked pretty good. But anyway, see, so all of these things you could have had, but instead you spent $40,000 on.
Yeah, I mean, I bet it was more by like 6 or 7
Oh my God,
or whatever.
I'm sure. I mean, like, what do you think the G37 Cabriolet costs?
I had one as a press car.
Really?
Yeah, it was purple, which was pretty cool. And that's when I discovered I hate convertibles on the highway.
Yep.
And it's not the wind noise, it's the tire noise from the dually Dodge Ram
Yeah.
rolling coal next to you.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
true.
let's get to... You posed a question.
I did, but hang on.
Oh, God.
Oh my God. We didn't complete like the I just had a harrowing day.
Oh, that was intentional.
Oh
that we
my
didn't
God.
complete.
Oh, whatever. Oh, you have some things on this list here where oh my God.
Yeah, I have things on the list. That's why I want...
Look, I went to the climbing gym earlier and I tweaked the side of my boob and it hurts a little bit. So Kevin just made me hand stretch my arm to hand you the Glenlivet 12 bottle. Oh,
Goes down smooth.
it goes down smooth.
SpawnCon.
Oh my God. Sponsored by Glenlivet. Anyways, long story short about the storage situation.
Yes.
I'm really upset because I really liked having that side-by-side situation, and now
It was cool.
I'm going to store the cars in 2 different places, which makes me sad. And this new place is not like, it's a better facility, but it is not as, like, the place that I'm storing the car is not going to be as nice. So the inside, the garage.
So have you moved all your...
Yeah, that was a bitch. I had side note, I had a Transit.
Was it a real Transit or a Transit Connect?
It was a Transit. It was like the big one that they had.
Yeah, I like those.
I like those. You know what? I was sitting in it and I was driving it. I was just thinking to myself, this is not a bad vehicle.
I drove one a few years ago, and there's like so many cool convenience things.
Yeah.
And also like the wheels can turn like so much.
I was just thinking about that. It has this short overhang in the front.
I rode in a Sprinter yesterday, like the new Sprinter, and I was amazed that you are sitting like over the front wheels, so it's like the pivot point is like your seat.
Oh, well, it's like a JDM van.
Yeah. I mean, I'm exaggerating just slightly, but it's probably, and I think the Transit is pretty similar.
I mean, like everyone, I'll see it on like car Twitter. People, I always think I thought they were doing it ironically, but like the Transit's actually like a really decent vehicle. So it was kind of fun, and it was a nice change of pace, like being like high up too, and that windshield, it's huge. You can see everything. It feels like you're driving a bus almost.
Wow.
But even though it's like, I forget how that's like sometimes when you drive a car that is the complete opposite of what you normally drive, and how much like sort of fun that can be. But yeah, so I filled up over the 1 year, I filled up this one was the extended 15 feet of stuff, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was really annoying, and the end. So now, secret, but not really a secret, and I don't even know where this is going to go, but I kind of want to build a garage somewhere.
Ooh.
So that's why I sent you that weird listing today. I'm not looking at that one. Like for like an awkward, cheap piece of land in the inner city somewhere. I want to build like a small garage of some kind because I'm so tired of like having to store my car in places that I don't really care to store them.
How many cars do you want to fit in it? Like
at max, I mean as many as I can, but
likely
maybe no more than 4.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still pretty substantial. I was thinking like 2 in this 8-foot wide thing.
But if I build it, I'm thinking like this is not an expensive exercise at all. Like I can like build it with higher ceilings and have a lift and then do it that way. And at least have one area for like working on cars. But I found a triangular piece of land just south of 610. So I don't know, and it's really cheap, and it's really weird because what it is it's this guy's house, and he's lopped off like the triangular portion, and he's selling just that.
Whoa!
So it's really weird. I'll have to see if it's even like feasible to build on it.
You're gonna build like a really trashy like Flatiron building, but with cars.
Yeah,
like a 1/8 scale Flatiron building.
Basically. Oh man, that'd be kind of cool.
It would be cool.
Yeah, I'm into that. All right. So on to the podcast. What?
Nothing. Carry on. You're doing great.
So I think it's important that we delve into pop culture here.
That took you so long.
I was stalling because I couldn't find it. I should have queued it up earlier. So, podcast question.
We're going to get sued by the ghost of Dick Wolf.
I know. Oh, it didn't have the beginning part, though, which is important. Okay, so if SVU were in LA, Law and Order SVU, that is, if you didn't know what that theme song was for some reason.
Yeah.
What cars would Benson and Stabler drive off duty? And I'm sorry, but SVU was last good when it was Benson and Stabler. So
yeah,
it was the peak.
That obviously, yes,
the peak. Yeah. So there, it's.
I mean, they did a pretty respectable job, kind of rebooting it.
Let's set the groundwork here for what we consider to be like good entertainment consumption. There's just something like weird and mesmerizing. It's a different kind of good. It's not like you're watching this and you're being culturally enriched. It's just like a different, I don't know why it's so entertaining.
Yeah.
Like 24 seasons on, The Simpsons stopped being entertaining like what 20
10.
seasons ago.
Yeah.
So, but yet somehow SVU remains
It does.
entertaining. So,
Okay.
Benson, Detective Olivia Benson, and wait, I just forgot Stabler's first name.
Elliot Stabler.
Elliot Stabler.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go first.
Okay. Well, the way I looked at this, if we're talking, I don't think it changes much with Stabler, but if we're talking Benson, are we talking like 1998 SVU, or are we talking like 2007 or 2010 SVU? Because he was still on to like 2012. Because,
this is too nuanced.
No, okay, so well, I guess since you said it was I was looking at it from like first or third season SVU versus current, but since you limited to the Benson and Stabler era, which obviously that was in the question, I guess she didn't have a kid then.
She didn't have a kid then.
Okay, because I would say now she would probably have like an MDX or like a Ford Edge.
Whoa.
Now, I'm saying now, like currently because she's a mom, but I would say she might have like a Ford just because she's like trying to keep good with the company because she's like high up and is like a little bit political.
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit political in that high of a position.
Yeah.
But I think early season, I think she would have like an E36 coupe. Like a non-performancy one.
Oh my god!
But I'm also,
how much do you think Young Detectives make?
Because the 3 Series, it used to be an inexpensive car,
I guess,
and it might have been a couple years old. And I think I'm also not mixing her up, but I'm kind of projecting like Deb from Dexter, as kind of like her, like similar point in their careers and stuff. And that's what Deb drove.
So you're thinking like, so this is early 2000s,
or like 99. I think she'd have like like an E36 325 coupe or something.
Okay. All right.
And maybe it's a couple years old, but it's like nice and well maintained. Stabler, I mean, he's always had a family of like 45 Catholic children.
Yes, this is true.
So, I mean, I feel like on or off duty, he's driving like a Tahoe or a Suburban.
You're saying that because you're a big Sopranos fan, and that's where you went. This is not my answer, but like, if you went that route, I'd almost think like Expedition or Excursion.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think that the Tahoe's too nice.
It's not nice. And also, I think it's got that like the Tahoe, like the mid 2000s Tahoe has that like real aggressive fascia.
You know what?
Like, I'm going to beat your skull.
I think you're still kind of, I mean, that fits his personality, but I think his character would have driven like, in that era, it would have been a Windstar.
No, there's no way. There is no way.
A Caravan?
There is no. His wife would have, but he would have had something tougher.
Whoa.
He is the most traditional, like alpha male, religious family, conservative cop.
I don't know. Well,
I'm trying
that's
to get
why
into that headspace.
Oh my god. Okay. Is that it?
I mean,
so your
I guess
answer
so.
is...
I can't picture him having like a sporty car or any kind of car for himself.
Yeah.
He's like a family man, but he'd have to have like an aggressive SUV that gets the job done.
Ford.
I don't
Mercury.
No.
Sable wagon.
No. He's like a really macho guy. Like he's gonna have like a giant truck. Like he's gonna drive his police cruiser, and then he's gonna have off the clock. He's gonna have like a Tahoe.
Okay, I guess.
You need the 14 rows.
Okay. Remember? Okay, so they're in LA. What was there a crime show in LA that took place in LA? I'm sure there was.
Was there a CSI LA? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought there was something popular. I'm sure there. I mean, like in history, I'm sure there is something, but not in current day. That's not true. What is that show that's on? I think Hulu. It's like Dragnet, but like modern.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Whatever. All right. Okay. For Olivia Benson, late 20s bachelorette. I think she would like. It's LA. I think she would drive a Wrangler. I think that kind of fits her personality. It's like a little bit like it's not like a classically feminine car, even though Cher drove one in Clueless. But it's very LA, and I think like at that time she's kind of sporty. So this is like and it's inexpensive. I think it would have fit like the budget of someone kind of early in their career at the time. Now the car that I would have picked for her, like instead of something that fits her personality, like realistically on the show, might be a mid-90s Bronco. Or
Really?
Yeah.
Good answers. I can't say I see it.
I could see that because I could see like her just thinking that that is like a cool car you can take off the back also, making it a good California car. And it's not dainty because I think her personality is the opposite of, so it doesn't fall into like, I think she would be very anti-girl trope, like buying something that fits that.
Okay, we did both latch onto one quality because I'm with my 3 Series. Like, first of all, I want to say I think the E36, maybe it's just how I remember it, but it seems like the E36 was kind of, it wasn't like a huge like status car. It was kind of an everyman for a BMW.
Yeah.
But if that was too rich, I could see her in like an Integra. But the way I saw it, what was factoring in my head was that she wanted like a kind of a quick, sporty coupe.
Yeah.
It's just her, and maybe one other person, like a coupe, zip around town, and something that was not like something foreign, like something that's like a little bit. She has a little bit of rebelliousness, so she's not. She's not going to drive like an American car that's going to like be what everyone else at the police force has. Like she's got something a little bit different, a little bit out of that, because she had that little bit of an edge. She had short hair in the first few seasons.
She did. That's why I think the XJ, or that wouldn't have been an XJ. Whatever era Wrangler that would have been.
Might have been an XJ or the TJ.
TJ maybe.
Yeah. Well, so we use similar logic to arrive at different places.
I just think like it's LA.
Yeah.
If you're young in LA,
plus great beach car.
It's a good beach car.
Good beach car.
Yeah.
Okay, you're winning me.
So for Stabler, Stabler, as you said, traditional guy, and he's kind of all business. You need something that can haul the family around in, but instead of getting a family car, because as you pointed out, he has his wife would have driven the minivan, Kevin. I think he would have had a Mercury Marauder, like if he had some extra dough to spend, which I think per his character he didn't, because he had such a big family. So but I think I could see him being like, okay, that would have been the car that I would pick for him outside of the realm of reality.
Yeah.
I think that he would drive like something fast but old school and kind of family-ish still, like a tour show, or even like a Mark 8? Was there a supercharged one? I don't know, like a Lincoln Mark 8 or something. I don't know. I think I could see him in something that at least, I don't know. I think he's that type of person that would have bought something kind of
like he needs something to like blow
Panther
off steam.
Platform. Yeah.
Yeah, like a Panther platform. Like I gotta blow
Panther
off steam.
platform,
I gotta
yeah.
just like slam on a V8.
Yeah. So
on the PCH with no one around.
Yeah, because I could see him in a truck, but like maybe not. I don't know. I think he's, or what's a big convertible? I know this is a little on the nose for LA, but was there a big American convertible from the mid 2000s? Not really. Prowler. Stabler pulling up to a crime scene in a Prowler with the trailer. That's where the gun. That's where the guns are. Oh no.
I think it's a very traditional household. I think they both have cars that have to tote the family.
I think he would have been in an Aztec.
No way.
because he was kind of like he needed a new car, but the kids need braces. Like this is in the pre-owned lot. Yeah, Lisa needs braces.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, this was such a good question.
Oh god, he might have driven a Volvo. I don't know.
There is no way. You want to put people in Volvos
I do.
retroactively and fictionally.
I do. Maybe he would have driven like that era Explorer. I can kind of see that. Although they drove those, I think, on the show, anyways.
No. Which era Explorer? Like the second gen or the third gen?
I could second or third. Second slash
third one because it seems bigger.
Yeah, well, he wasn't on the show in the 90s. I guess that show wasn't around in the 90s.
It started in like 98 or maybe 99.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically you're right.
First gen Explorer would have been kind of cool. I would have picked, if the show were in the 90s, I was going to say two-door Explorer for
I could see him in a first gen Explorer or the like giant third gen. The bubble one, I couldn't see that.
I hate that
I
one.
couldn't see that.
Yeah.
Do you remember on the second gen, the Roundy Explorer, how do you remember the Mercury version? And it was like the grill was just like inverted.
I hated that. It
Do
was
you remember
the Mercury
Mountaineer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it looked bad. I didn't like that.
It was a little weird.
Yeah. I was trying to think like because
But the third gen was so boring and anonymous.
Yeah, it was not good. Mercury branded like Ford trucks never really panned out well. Do you remember like in the early mid 2000s when Mercury was targeting like women specifically with just overwrought like, hey ladies, this car is built for you. See, it has lipstick holders.
How do you do, fellow ladies?
Yeah, like in place of cup holders. But that was like the Mariner, which was the Escape, and the Fusion.
Yeah.
What was I don't remember the Mercury version.
The Milan.
Milan. Yeah. And what was the Montego? Oh, that was the van. I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was like It wasn't. What was the Ford van?
The Villager. There was the Villager. Was the 90s Mercury.
Yeah, but that was a Nissan Quest.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it was a Mercury Villager.
But what was the Ford van in the mid 2000s?
Windstar.
Was it the Windstar still?
It was the Windstar until.
Oh
wait, I don't know when it died.
Huh.
I don't know when it ended, but
I don't know.
Was there a van after the Windstar?
That wasn't a Transit Connect. Guess not.
Right. No.
Yeah. No, I don't think so. Because
I think the Flex kind of replaced the vans.
yeah, the Flex and the C-Max and like.
Well, the C-Max was a lot later.
Yeah. Oh, I could see him like Stabler in a Flex. It's kind of like
I could kind of see it too.
like, you know what? No, I do want to add an addendum to my choices.
Sure.
For Stabler, and because he's kind of like a dad's dad, like he would have like, I think he would have driven an Oldsmobile of some kind, like. Because he's got all those kids to pay for, it would have been like an Intrigue or something. Because Oldsmobile used to be a fancy brand. He's like, well, Dad used to drive.
I can see that. That is pretty sound.
He wanted it in Aurora, but
yeah,
bit much that.
Yeah, I think an Olds Intrigue is pretty good, but I still think it'd be traditional family. They both have to have a vehicle that can carry all 14 kids, and I think he would have like a Tahoe.
Yeah. Was there a Olds wagon then? No.
But
that's too family use, you think?
Yeah, he wouldn't drive a wagon.
Fine.
Or a minivan.
Side note, what do you think Kragen would drive?
Oh man, I wondered. So income wise, he was so on the show.
He was so
entire episode.
He was so like Kragen was so he was the boss.
Oh yeah, you don't tell me who Kragen was.
What?
You don't have to tell me who Kragen was.
I know. I'm telling the audience just in case.
Oh, okay.
Someone doesn't watch SVU and they've already. To be fair, this long in, they've already tuned out.
I forgot the chance that anyone might be listening to this.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I'm gonna say like really old town car. Like the bad like the they're all prom limo. I was going to say the prom limo one. I think he would drive like something just slightly nicer, but not a luxury brand, like a Mercury, say for instance. Or he could be an Aurora man.
I think an Aurora is too flashy.
Yeah.
I could see him at a Cadillac DTS, but it might be too flash.
I think it's too flash. I think that's
too
like
flash.
I think it's commissioner territory. So yeah, if he drove a Caddy, I'd be like a Catera.
I never told you this, but when I was in Germany this last time, I saw the Opel.
Oh, really?
Was the Catera.
Oh yeah.
Like it was so. I was very excited.
You know what? I'm gonna say Craigen's a Catera guy because
There's no way. He's not driving that Catera is not running in like 2010.
Oh, was it? Wait, no. I'm talking about like, was Craigen that late in the show?
Yeah, Craigen was in until like 3 years ago.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Who was the first captain or chief? Captain, I guess.
I don't know. I thought he was there from the beginning, but probably not.
Oh, what about Ice-T?
Oh, we're not.
We
done
promise.
We're not. No, we're
we
not.
promise we're not gonna like keep this going. But
Do we? We're not done with Craigen.
okay, fine. Craigen. Okay, this late. Okay, so it's that late. So 2010s. Good cue.
I'm gonna say Lincoln MKZ.
I still think that's too nice.
It's not though. It's a Fusion.
I know, but because he's a public servant and he doesn't want to appear fancy for being the boss.
It's not that fancy, and and he gets a corporate discount with Fords because they use him on the Force.
I think he'd drive like. I think he might appear to be humble.
Yeah.
And drive. I guess he'd have to buy American. I was gonna say an Avalon.
Oh no!
But what is a Ford or Chevy equivalent of an Avalon? I don't think there is one.
Impala.
I guess, but the Impala is more Camry-ish.
No, the Impala
is bigger.
Impala's bigger. Like the last Impala. Well, all of them.
I can't imagine driving an SS or something.
Oh, no, I mistakenly said Impala, all of them. In the early 2000s, the Impala was like the Taurus Camry fighter.
Yeah.
And then
it grew,
I think the Malibu became that. And
even though it's priced like a Camry, but is just bigger-fied.
It's not, it doesn't, I think they just canceled it.
Oh, maybe he drives you know what? He would drive a Suburban because it's nice, but it's discreet at the same time, or a Tahoe.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to say,
I'm
going to say like an Explorer Sport.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. Or Grand Cherokee. At that time, those were
let's say it's 2015.
Okay, 2015. So Grand Cherokees are nice.
Yeah.
It's discreet because I think you don't want to be showy.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be a Tahoe or Grand Cherokee. So basically a full-size, mid-size SUV of some kind.
Or a big sedan.
Or big sedan. But I can't see an Impala because I think an Impala is too like commonplace. Then he might as well just drive
the police cruiser.
The police cruiser. Yeah. Because I think he gets one without the jail hold in the back.
Right.
Yeah, he drives like the discreet ones that have the tinted lights behind the glass. All right, we'll go with that.
Okay.
All right, we'll have to save Ice-T for...
No, we don't.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. What would Ice-T drive? But what era? Because he's been there.
He's been
throughout
there the whole time.
Let's make it fun and not pick a newer one. Let's go first few seasons.
First few seasons.
So basically millennium, turn of the millennium.
Okay. We're gonna have to cut out my thinking. I need a minute here.
Really?
Oh my.
I'll go. He's been on the force for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would not be particularly concerned with buying American.
Right.
So
sound. Yeah.
I think that he is more of a classic guy. Like, he doesn't care about practicality. Kind of lives on, like, the edge a little bit.
Mhm.
So it could be like classic American iron. It's LA, so I think he'd have a convertible. Again, maybe on the nose, but so ooh, oh no, this would an Alante have been really expensive then?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
probably so.
And it's American.
And it's
Ish.
American. Well, it was a Eurofighter.
I
I thought about that, or I thought about an old Benz, like an 80s Benz.
Yeah.
So he bought one like used in the mid 90s,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just kind of nice.
Like an R107?
Maybe I think that those would have been still expensive.
Yeah.
Then, but I could see him like in an SEC. I don't know if those would have been expensive
It's
too.
the same price.
I guess.
I would say like a Mark III Supra.
Whoa.
T-tops.
Flashy.
Ice T-tops.
Oh.
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Or like maybe if he went a little newer for period,
Yeah.
a used SC300.
I was just thinking that
Were
with
you?
gold package and the Nakamichi
Absolutely.
premium sound system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to carry family.
Chrome wheels because it's LA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lexus, very prestigious.
Yeah.
But new brand.
Yeah. And you could get it at that time, a 92 SC300, and it would have been 8 years old.
Yeah.
So
the other
it would
car I
have
was
been affordable.
thinking is, I can't remember what it was called. When I lived in the Dallas area, my next door neighbor had it was like an Oldsmobile. It was like a 1996 convertible, and I don't know what the model was.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
It was teal.
And I've seen one driving around my neighborhood. It was like part of. It's also part of, or it's also a coupe.
Yeah.
But they chopped the roof.
Called.
I knew what this was
Was
called.
it Silhouette?
No, the Silhouette
That's
was
the
a van.
van.
Yeah. Shoot. It was.
We'll look this up.
It's like it's not a
Was
Cutlass.
it a number? It might have been a. No, I don't fuck.
It wasn't a Cutlass.
This is why an Oldsmobile is dead.
Yeah. It was like a Laro. It sounded like a Laro or something.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. Anyways,
It was boxy but sleek.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Man, I knew what it was because I was talking about this with someone like several months ago. Anyways,
The 88.
I don't think it's the 88
Okay. I don't know what.
because the
any
two-door,
Oldsmobile is.
it's like the Tornado, but a coupe. But it wasn't the Tornado because that was like very nice. Very nice.
Well, they didn't- okay.
Okay. Also, I know this is American, but I could see Ice-T. I think that he's a little more sophisticated than this, like, and would have gone foreign, but domestically, I could see him in a Riviera, like a late 90s, that kind of, I love that Riviera, by the way. Like, it's kind of long,
the sister
luxurious.
to the Alero.
No. Was it?
I
It
mean,
wasn't Alero based, was it? It was.
I think, or not Alero. Sorry, Aurora.
Oh yeah.
It was Aurora based.
It was Aurora based. Yeah.
that
It's
was
really
nice.
elegant looking.
I forgot those existed.
Yeah, and it's like it's still kind of a design that holds up today, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like it's nicer than it is, and I could see that just being like a nice discerning ride to cruise up and down Sunset Boulevard.
Do you know what Ice-T drives right around, like right now in real life?
No, I have no idea.
He has a 720S.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
McLaren 720S.
In New
and,
York?
like, yeah. No, he lives in like Paramus, New Jersey
Oh,
or
okay.
something. And
Yeah.
he drives around there, and I've seen like pictures of it. Like he's retweeted pictures of people seeing him
Oh,
driving around in like a candy red, the volcano red, I think.
Okay.
720S.
that's you know what equivalent of the time Riviera.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically the same.
Okay, all right.
Well, that's our show.
That's our show. That concludes. Well, we're 47 minutes in. For those of you who are still listening, next question related. And we swear, I swear, this is like a short answer. But Kevin, do you know who Mariska Hargitay's mother, Lieutenant Captain Benson, who her mother was.
I can't remember her name, but I know she was like decapitated, and she was in she decapitated by like a truck in a traffic accident. Tragically,
She has a car part named after her, a safety device.
I don't know. I do know that on the Mean Girls DVD, if you leave it on the main menu, it has like a song. There's like a girl band rock song, not a derogatory term, and it has and part of the chorus is it says like her name.
Yep.
And I can't remember what it is.
Jane Mansfield.
Jane Mansfield. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So check out the movie Mean Girls in that DVD, folks.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
All right. So on to the next. You wanted to talk about BMWs, which we already did, but also again, BMW 2 Series or
Corolla series. Two Sorrows.
Oh my God, Two Sorrows.
You wrote it.
I did write that. I did re-edit that to Two Sorrows because the new 2 Series looks terrible.
Yeah, it looks like a Corolla.
Oh no, but so does the CL. Even though the CL was CL A-Class, not CLA. Although the CLA also looks like an A-Class, and so basically they kind of turned towards the Japanese for styling, I feel like, but like the econo side of things. And now the new Corolla looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. I see them. They look really good.
Yeah.
It's weird. I don't know if this is a polarizing opinion, but overall I think the CLA, because the CLA is it going away? Is it dying?
No, I think it's still sticking around somehow for some reason.
I think the CLA looks better than the A-Class because it's busier and it looks like a weird shrunken CLS in a not the most glamorous way, but it has a large number of things. They tried to go so clean on the A-Class that you just have this like featureless bumper and this like featureless side.
It is very
with
generic.
These awful economy car proportions.
Yeah.
So at least with the CLA, you kind of lose the proportion because you see all these features that are from the bigger cars shrunken in a weird way.
Yeah. It's such a weird product mix. Like, I just feel like there's just so much blending between these demographics. And the A-Class is still basically $30,000, I think. And I think I looked it up. So I had a rental in Seattle. I had an A-Class.
Yes, we all know.
No one knows because you always cut that out when I talk about my rental cars. This is a car podcast, Kevin. But I think they're basically the same price. Like the A-Class is $30,000 and the CLA starts at $32,000. Okay. So I cannot imagine someone going in there and saying, "Do I want the sedan or do I want the coupe?" Like, that is such a weird. I guess they've done their research, and like BMW, if you have 47 models,
Wait, but they're all sedans.
Yeah. No, the CLA is a coupe. It starts with C.
No.
It's a coupe.
Oh.
It is a coupe. I'm afraid. Although I don't think C actually stands for coupe. C just stands for... I don't know what C stands for. CL... Am I right on that or am I wrong? I think I'm wrong that the C stands for coupe on that. But anyways, it's a coupe. It's a four-door coupe.
Historically, the C was a coupe. Like CLK.
Right.
CL.
Yeah. So...
not C-Class.
Not C-Class. That's what threw me.
Yeah.
But then now you have... What is the E-Class coupe? Just... E.
It's just the E-Class coupe.
And the S is just the S.
That was like around 2010. The E-Class, the CLK became the E-Class coupe.
Yeah, true. No,
Yeah.
I thought that was, but the CLK was C-Class based.
No, it was always.
It was like
somewhat,
202 based.
It was always kind of. I thought it was kind of E-Class based.
Mm-mm. It was
maybe it just had the
202
E-Classy
based
styling.
I think it had E-Class styling, but it was C-Class based, and it was like, I think that's what people complained about, was that it cost a lot more than a C-Class. I think it cost like E-Class around that price range, but it was just
We'll look
so
into this.
shoddily put together.
Yeah.
I guess throughout the entire generation. But anyways, that's that. I wanted to play the SVU theme again for Kevin is not charged with battery, the final booking.
I sold the Prius because I'm an idiot. Also because I'm an idiot was why I bought it.
Yep.
And I bought it in the worst possible circumstances. So I will, I listed it and a guy came out to look at it and I felt really bad because it was such a piece of shit. And I've put so much into it to like make it like top notch, but it was just a bad car. It was a bad example of a bad car.
You are like me, except that car was actually, your car turned out to be like a salvage car or something, right?
It wasn't salvaged, but it had been in like a major accident.
Okay.
So what happened is this guy came to look at the car and the gauges didn't light up and he basically like walked away and like luckily he wasn't coming from far.
Yeah.
But someone else had come or someone else had emailed me and they were like he was a curious case because he wanted to he was buying a car to live in. And
Yeah, you told me about that.
I said, don't buy this car. I said, like, you don't want this one.
Yeah.
You don't want this car. Like, he was coming from College Station. I was like, just stay home. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry about it. And this other guy came to look at the car, and I was thinking, like, I don't want to sell this to like some like hard on their luck student or anyone. I
Right.
mean, I obviously there might be certain classes of people and like I don't want to take advantage of someone who's whatever. And then I'm like I'm like reevaluating. I'm like, there shouldn't be anyone that I want like to take advantage of. Like it's not going to be some white 35-year-old guy idiot like me probably that's walking up to buy this car who I would gladly take advantage of.
Summarize though really quickly why this is such a bad? It's not that the Prius is necessarily inherently bad.
Mine was bad. We're getting to that.
Yeah.
Mine was bad, and I think it had a lot of issues. And I was getting like 36 miles to the gallon, despite changing the battery and every other thing on the car. So actually, wait, this is a curious thing. This guy,
Mind you, when Kevin says changing the battery, he means like the traction battery, the hybrid battery, not just the 12. But you did change the 12 battery
both.
too.
And that 12-volt battery was like a special like $250 item because it was special for the car. But the guy that looked at it, that the gauges didn't light up, he knew about these cars. And he's like, he was like, I'm looking for an efficient car. I'm moving out to LA and gas is more expensive. And he somehow knew a lot about them. And he had opened, there was some reservoir under the hood that he looked at, and he's like, when it's running, like this is supposed to be bubbling, and if it's not, I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, like this usually like bubbles because it's working, and that's like the coolant for the battery for the.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, you should. And I was like, well, I just replaced this. And he's like, yeah, well, I think they put in a bad one because whatever. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So that day, I took it to CarMax, and I was like, whatever they will give me, I will take it. And I'm expecting at least a few $1,000s, and they come back and they're like, well, it's a good thing you never got in an accident with this car because it's been like a serious major accident involved, like police and medical and all this stuff. And in like 2009, and I did no research when buying this car because I'm an idiot, and I paid the price. So once they told me that this car was not worth a lot of money because it was not good, I was like, well, I have to sell it now. Like I have to
just unload it.
I just have to, like, I can't go back and then keep listing it and keep showing it. Like, screw that. I'm just like, I just want to be done. I just want to.
You don't be
forever.
a shitty person.
Yeah. So I left. I took a check for a small amount of money.
Yeah.
Impulsively, and now I don't have a car to drive on a daily basis.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Did the most expensive repair? Was that more than what you received as a final payout for the car?
No, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's gone.
Yeah.
And I overall feel okay, although like I would kind of like to drive a terrible beater car and not be in the same position where I'm in a rush to buy something else.
Now you're stuck.
I'm stuck,
driving the
and I have a very
911
low
as a
budget
daily.
because of bad priorities in my life, in which literally the exhaust system on my 911 costs more than my budget for the next car.
Yep.
I have, but Anyway,
And that's our next. That's kind of our next project is finding Kevin a car.
yeah,
And we've been tossing a few things around, but
yeah,
back to because when I sell a car, I always feel so guilty about anything that I, as like a neurotic buyer,
Right,
would find.
right.
But it will be like when I sold the E90, my first E90, too cheap because I was like, oh man, I had to repaint like this quarter because someone like ran into it because it was parked on the street, and then someone bumped the bumper here, so that had to be repainted. And so I was like, all right, I'll just put it like $2,000 or $3,000 below market, because who wants to buy a car with a
yeah.
accident record, even though it wasn't structural, it was just like bumper covers and repainting here and there, and so it sold way too fast. And then same thing with the GTI. I sold that. I was just like, I had to get the key scratch repainted, and I knew that the chain tensioners were kind of like a looming problem, like a preventative maintenance item that would cost a lot of money, and that you should do that. And I was like, I don't want to sell this to like.
I forgot you had the GTI.
I know, me too, because I own it for 6 months, and so I was like, I don't want to sell this to like, some kid who's looking for like a cool GTI or something like that, and he doesn't know about like the chain tensioner issue, and he has to spend like, $2,800, however much it was, to fix it. And I couldn't sell it to him. And if I'm selling the car, I don't want to say like, hey, these things need this and that, this and that. And so I just ended up selling it to like a CarMax like business because of guilt. Like I just didn't want to be. I mean, that one was maybe particularly stupid because I feel like someone would just know about this if they're interested in this car, maybe. But so your situation slightly worse just because your car was a death trap.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the worst case all around. Like I sold it in a rush in bad circumstances, and I got it in the same way. But I mean, I think I don't regret. Like I sold it. I could still be using it, but I sold it and it's done and it's fine. And I don't regret. And actually, so like 3 days ago, I got an email from that guy that wanted to live in it. And he like never replied, but then he was like, thank you for being so honest. He's like, that was really cool. Thanks for not wasting my time. And best wishes to you, like in anything going forward. Like, it was really nice. And I was like, oh, okay.
I never once got that from any of the people I sold my cars to.
Well, this is the guy that didn't buy the car. So
true. Fine.
Yeah.
Well, no one thanked me for underpricing every car that I've ever sold. So there. Well, I'm a good person too.
Sure.
Anyway, so on to the next. You have to find a replacement daily driver, and we've batted around a few things, and I have maybe pushed you towards not getting, because we were thinking like originally an LS400.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I'll go on to that just a tiny bit. I was going to buy an LS400. It was all lined up to buy with our friend Mac Hogan of Jalopnik fame,
and now
formerly Future Road and Track. And so he was going to sell me his LS400 for very cheap, and he had just bought it a few months ago, and it was pretty solid, and it was like a 2-owner example, and it was nice. And I was thinking like,
first gen LCI.
Yeah, this will be a good solid car. And I was going to Ohio for a shoot to Cleveland, so I could just buy the car, use it while I was there for a few days, and then drive it back and I had because of another shoot here in Texas, I had like 2 days where I had to get back. So that's what made it so dicey. It was going to be such a quick thing.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately, it didn't turn out because it
didn't turn out.
It needed some work.
He found some issues. Maybe I should just still buy it and just ship it here.
You could. So the reason why, I mean, not because same dress, same party, and that we would have basically the same garage. Even more so if you bought an LS400 and I had the cells here. But the thought is that whatever car it is that you get now, even though it's a daily driver, a beater, something basically to use up and eventually just get rid of, is that I think you would value a car that you would not mind putting money into. And it was painful putting money into the Prius for many reasons, but Also, that you just like derived no joy. It was literally just an appliance.
It was. I mean, I didn't mind. I mean, I regret every single dime I put into it. But I mean, in the beginning, I was like,
Yeah.
the shop is recommending I do
Right.
shocks. Why not?
Yeah.
There, it's time to buy tires. I'll get decent ones, like real brand ones. Like,
Right.
why not? And so it's like, and then all these things added up for
Yeah.
ultimately like no reason at all. I didn't mind it first, but it was after a while that I really hated it.
Yeah.
Especially when it never just delivered on the promise, which was both fuel efficiency and reliability.
Yeah. I mean, 36 is pretty good, even though like that's like 40%, no, like 60%, 70% that what that car is supposed to get. But so we've been tossing around cars that you could drive that are practical, but you wouldn't mind putting some money into, because any older car, you're going to have to put some money into it. So the list has been going from, normal E46, like anything from a 325 to a 330, an E90 perhaps.
I am more drawn to the E90 just because it's newer, and it seems like...
I'm going to argue, and I know that Daniel Sloan
will... Well, he's not going to listen to this. It doesn't matter.
Say that the E46 might be more reliable, but I think the E90 might be a little more reliable. But
it's just, I think if you have a 5-year newer car, you have like 5 years.
It'll be a little more. I think honestly, it would be. I mean, it's heavier for a reason. It's a little bit more comfy. And I don't think you'd mind putting money into it for like the normal preventative maintenance stuff. It's not cheap to own by Prius standards it is. But anyway, so that's a possibility. But then we were also talking about your wife has a Mini, I think an R56.
Yes.
So she might be on board with an R53 Cooper S, the supercharged, but later years, like 0506.
Known for being the most unreliable car ever made.
Not the easiest, like not a set it and go and never touch it type car, but you might not mind putting money into it, and you like those.
I do. I like. I mean, even cool. Hers is really fun.
Yeah, like I think it's kind of like I briefly looked at them as like a daily driver type situation. I don't think I would enjoy putting money into it long term in that same way that I didn't enjoy putting money into the GTI.
I was gonna say it scares me less than a GTI.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? It's better built than a GTI from a quality, not a reliability standpoint.
Even true. I just feel like
the GTI always felt a little cheap to me. That was my it was fine. It drove fine. It drove like a car, but faster and slightly more nimble. But otherwise, interior quality was, I don't know. I couldn't stick with it long term.
Yeah.
So, which was unfortunate because it is like the icon. But
yeah.
I know this is controversial. So it was a Mark 6. I think I would have enjoyed a Mark 6 Golf R more than the GTI. Because I think it would have felt maybe a little bit more solid, even though power delivery is not as good. But anyways, so what about a Golf R?
There's none in my very low price range.
Fine. So we've talked about other things too, including potential JDM cars or the dream, which this is a little bit too inside jokey, but the XV10 Camry, which would be the early to mid 90s Camry, the coupe.
We've talked about the coupe.
We have, but
they're all pretty bad.
But you would not enjoy putting money into that.
I mean, maybe if it was, I feel like you'd have 30 years worth of stuff breaking all the time.
We just talked about this. What about a Buick Riviera? That has more cargo room than the Prius
did. The venerable 3800.
Hell yeah. That would be kind of cool and weird, and I think your wife would hate it also.
Yeah, well, that's a plus.
Yeah. Or thematic. So,
yes.
So it is not decided. We're still just kind of ruminating about what your next commuter car could be. So we'll see. It could be an E91 3 Series manual rear-wheel drive, which I am currently thinking about selling because I want to get into And this is a quick side note, but like I'm thinking about selling it because it's such a good car, but I can cross it off my list is what I can do. Like that is it served its purpose.
It was on your list. It was. I
wanted-
remember for years it was the one that got away because you almost
was.
bought one.
Yeah.
You found one similar to this where it was
Yeah.
like they didn't know what they had.
It only took 3
More than that, probably. 'Cause
Or-
it was
oh, yeah,
before
no,
you
it
had
was
your
like-
E90.
Yeah, shit. That was so it's been 6 years. So so I did not come across another one for like 6 years that I wanted to buy. And anyways, long story short would be that I can cross it off my list. It is a fine car. I thought I was going to keep it forever because of the thought that it took so long to find the perfect one, but it also just kind of it's like the perfect normal car. It drives really well. It's a little soft, but that's fine.
Did you prefer your E90 because it was sportier?
I did because the 330i had it was the sport package, and it had a little bit more horsepower because of the 3-stage intake manifold, and I was going to do that conversion on this car, but even then I actually kind of miss the so the next car I'm looking at might be a 997 or an E46 M3. I think both would make for okay daily drivers.
We should save this.
Yeah, we'll save this because the search continues. I've not settled on anything just yet, but I don't mind, even though again, like in inner city Houston, the potholes are canyon sized. I'm kind of okay with that, and I just miss on occasion being able to take a corner relatively fast or give it the beans and have that kind of emotional sensation and feedback back.
Mm-hmm.
So the E91 wagon, while good, I also only used the wagon part of the wagon like 3 times in 1 year of ownership. So if I ever need to haul something,
You're renting transits left and right.
I know, yeah. So that is that. We'll continue that story. I think we're coming up on a podcast here, so why don't we call it?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check us out on @newfor96 on Instagram. And
email us at newfor96@gmail.com. It's in
Yeah.
the link there in the thing.
thanks for listening to our Halloween Spooktacular SVU crossover special. Goodbye.
Bye. That's the title.